Hello and welcome to a new indie game video. I'm Player State and today we're taking a look at Casebook 1899, The Leipzig Murders, which is a point and click adventure. Came out on the 4th of September. Just want to say thank you to the developers for giving me a review copy to take a look at. Yeah, it's kind of got a classic look to it, as in classic adventure game look, and set obviously in 1899 in Leipzig. So why don't we jump in and have a look? The year is 1899. We find ourselves in Leipzig, a burgeoning industrial metropolis in the heart of the German Empire. Let us take a moment to enjoy the sight of the bustling activity on the marketplace. One person who cannot take pleasure in it is Hannah Faber, a former teacher who had given up her profession due to blindness. She is eagerly awaiting the return of her lodger whilst listening to her housemaid playing the piano. Madcap motorist. Alright. What's this about? Oh, I think he's had a crash. Hence the madcap. Guess we're seeing it from the perspective of the teacher. The sound is giving her, like, allowing her to see.
Wenn ich noch weiter spiele, verknoten sich meine Finger.
Okay, so we might need to turn off. Oh, we can't do that right now. Can't go back to the menu. All right. Now, if I keep playing, my fingers will get all knotted up. That's all right, Gretchen. You played very beautifully today. And besides, my lodger will probably be coming home soon and pass the time with his stories. I wonder what adventures did the inspector experience today? The report of his investigation is always so captivating. Gretchen, you are not secretly listening at the door, are you? That's not really proper for a housemaid. I didn't mean to. I beg your pardon, Miss Faber. I'm only joking. If you want to listen to the stories, you're welcome to leave the door open. During the summer, the draft is always welcome anyway. And, if I'm not mistaken, I just heard the inspector's keys in the lock. He's got a very small head. Good evening, Mrs. Faber. Gretchen, let me sit down for a spell. My investigations led me through half the city today. But at least the hard work paid off. Does that mean that there is now one less criminal roaming the streets of Leipzig? You don't really care to give breaks to a worn-out inspector, do you? However, the storytelling should pass the time until dinner. Probably best if I start it right now. That way, I might even finish before the food reaches the table. It all started this morning in my office in the police station. I stood by the window and looked out the colourful hustle and bustle of... Why? I'm going to apologise for the butchering of this. Weichstreiber? I had lost myself in my own thoughts and had to make an effort to get back to work. Leipzig, summer 1899. Little boy's playing. Everyone's wearing a hat, except that kid. Enough daydreaming. I should really get back to work. Left click to move to the click location. Left or right click to examine an object. Left click to interact. Okay, let's just... What do we got? Oh. Somebody seems to be at the door. Alright, let's try it. Options... Language, so voiceover off. Off. There we go. Continue. Someone's still knocking. Let's go look at the door. I locked the door so that I could work undisturbed. Alright, so we need to find the key, do we? What was it? Left click to... Somebody wants to use the door. I should probably open it. Yeah, but I can't because you've locked the door. I need the key. Okay. Is the key here? The key's not here. Wherever could it be? Notebook. Detective Kreiser writes down all observations in his notebook. Scroll down or press N to access it. Click on 2 observations, one after the other, to combine them and unlock new actions. Okay. Alright, investigate the office for clues. I should look for clues as to where I put the keys. Alright, what's this over here? The helmet from my time as a patrolman. I don't really like to think back on it. I never had the money for proper shoes back then. And I always felt the cobblestones through my soles. I can still tell which streets I am on just by looking at the pavement. Yeah, what's this here? I picked up a lamp. Have a look at the plant. My house plant. It could do with a little water. Guilty as charged. So we got these. I keep the files on my cases in this cabinet, sorted by last name. It's actually not too shabby a system, with only one shortcoming. There is no room for Z. Alright, took a note of that. What else we got? We've got these pictures over here. A somewhat kitschy landscape. The mountains radiate a peculiar calm. As befits a civil servant, the Emperor adorns the walls of my office. The certificate commemorating my appointments as a detective. It makes me proud whenever I see it. Alright. Is this something I can interact with? No, it doesn't look like it. On my desk, maybe. Most recently, I worked on the case of Roswitha Rosenlacher. I took the documents out of my filing cabinet just this morning. Alright, did you perhaps leave the key in the cabinet? Can we go and look at J? Is this just going to look at J, or is it going to look at all of them? Right, have I got a... Was it N, wasn't it? Brain! I may have put the key in place of the Rosenweir Rosenlach. I'm going to pronounce that like 50 different ways. I apologise. Files this morning. Go on then. Well then open it then. How do I open it? Have I now got a... No, I did that, so how do I don't understand. Like, I know what I've done. Why can I not go... Oh, it's R, isn't it? R's down here, sorry. Why was I on J? What weirdness. I open the drawer. Here we go. The key. Do you think the guy's still there as he run off? It took too long to open the door. I've left. Scroll up or press I to bring up the inventory. Click on an item in the inventory to activate it. You can use items in the inventory or in the game world. Right, okay, so you click I, key, on the door. Patrolman Velm, nice to see you. Left click to start a dialogue with a person. Right click to examine a person. Let's have a look at him first. Patrolman Velm, a good man who has what it takes to be more. He seems to want to tell me something. Good morning, Inspector Kreiser. You have a new case. Another one? What have we got this time? Am I choosing here what kind of case we've got? Escape lions? Speed and danger indeed have something to do with it, minus the wildlife. Burglary? While your case is also exotic and luxurious, it doesn't involve the colonies. Suicide? Am I supposed to pick up the body of a woman who committed suicide again? No, it's probably not suicide this time around. Am I supposed to catch a fraudster who has defrauded furriers? You couldn't be more wrong. Who would think of doing something like that? You would be surprised at the illustrious company that you find yourself with. Give up. Tell me what it is. Certainly. One of those new motorised vehicles drove into the water in the Plagsvitz district. And why would a traffic incident need an inspector? Because, apparently, foul play took place, and the driver is now dead. You go on ahead and secure us a carriage. What's that? Oh, it's a map, I assume. So we got I. No, not I. Wait, what? What? Why can't I leave? Let's go. Aha. Map. Click on the exit to call up the map. Inspector Kreiser can use it to travel to new places. To do so, simply click on the pin. Your game will be saved automatically when you enter a new location. Okay. Police station. Here we go. Plugfist. The terrible pronunciation continues. Butchering of the German language. What? Is that the car over there? Ah, Plugwitz. Where you can never see the sky. Not even on sunny days due to all the smoke. And who do we have here? A dead person. A portly fellow. Gustav Mobius. What brings a prosecutor to the scene of a traffic accident? My dear friend, this is by no means an ordinary accident. Because this is the first dead body we've had to recover from a motor vehicle? Right. And since there have some accidents like this, and since there have been some accidents like this lately, I'm required to conduct an assessment. Assessment? What about exactly? Whether the city would need an ordinance in regulating automobile traffic. But to be honest, I'm having doubts as to whether this was an accident. What makes you think that? Oh no, my dear Inspector. You will have to find that out for yourself. But I am of course at your disposal should you need help. Hotspots. If you can't find some object or feel stuck, you can ask Gustav Mobius to mark them. You can also press and hold the left mouse button on Mobius to quickly display all hotspots. Okay, that's quite cool. Enough chit-chat. I have witnesses to question and evidence to preserve. I should probably talk to the patrolman Velm first. Alright, Velm, what have you got to say? Let's get to work, Velm. What do we have so far? Only that the motor vehicle broke through the barrier at immense speed. And since the bridge was yet to be finished, the car plummeted into the river. Why was he driving this way if there's no bridge? Cause of the accident? The brake band broke, and so the driver had no way of stopping the motor vehicle. I have instructed the patrolman to not touch anything, so that you can see for yourself. Good thinking, Velm. I assume that the body is the driver. Correct. The man was trapped behind the wheel and had to be pulled out by force. How did the man die? The doctor says he drowned. He apparently did not try to free himself. Suicide then, perhaps? What we got in our... identity. Do we already know who the dead man is? He had his documents on him. His name was Eduard Ulrich, and he lives close to the Marienplatz. Good. I will inform the family. I've got new maps place. Witnesses. Did anyone see the accident? The construction worker over there watched everything from his scaffolding. Okay. That's it for now. At your service, Mr. Inspector. The driver drowned. Okay. I don't think it works like that. Okay. Let's go. Oh no, let's look at him first. The construction worker looks more impatient than dismayed. Alright. Oh, what we got here? We got... The toolbox is full of tempting tools. Can I steal one? As tempting as the toolbox is, I need a good reason before rummaging through it. What's this here? The brake band of a motor vehicle. I should take a closer look at that. The brake band of a motor vehicle. The end looks smoothly cut through. Alright, let's go talk to this. Now I know what the prosecutor meant. Something doesn't seem to be right here. Okay, let's chat to the witness. And you are? Hungry. I want my sandwiches, but these policemen won't let me back on the scaffolding. Can I still ask you a few questions at least? When I'm hungry, my head works slowly. Just to be sure, that means no, correct? Right. So, I'd have to satisfy your hunger first before you consider talking to me. What is this? He's a policeman, just answer his questions. Exactly. Unbelievable. What's this here? Next to the construction site is a large pile of sand. I wonder what it's used for. Alright, let's go have a look at the body. The man seems to have drowned. He also has a pretty nasty head wound. Anything else to gain, or is it just going to be the same? Yeah, it says the same thing. Okay, so let's go have a look at the vehicle. The motor vehicle is done for. It seems to have entered the river at great speed. The patrolmen are trying to pull it out of the river from the other side. What's this up here? I can't reach it. Can you climb? Looks like the new bridge is still not finished. Alright, let's talk to the prosecutor again. Inspector Kreeser? No, that end. Oh, can I get him to go and get something for him to eat? I do have one more question. No, I don't. I don't have any more questions. Well, his thing's up there. Do you reckon his food's in there? How do we get... Oh, well, it's just... is there anything I can... What about these two? I don't think it works like that. Okay. You said it can... The prosecutor looks... I'm thrilled to be here. No, and let's do that again. So you hold it over here. Okay, so we've done that. Oh, what's this here? Oh, and the tyre tracks. Let's look at the tyre tracks. There's a broken bench as well. The tracks of the motor vehicle lead straight towards the bridge. The motor vehicle must have been going quite fast. So much so it split the construction site barrier in two. May and Endlich. Mail order company and royal purveyor to the court. Alright, that's all we got for now. Oh, can we move over this way? We should continue our investigation elsewhere. I will accompany you. Alright, let's go talk to the, I guess we go talk to these people. Tell them the bad news. I can't remember what Ulrich... What, is it Ulrich? How I did his voice. So here we are, the mansion of the deceased. And there we have the wife, who is now an unsuspecting widow. I should probably deliver the terrible news before I interrogate the servants as well. Good plan. I wish you much strength. Oh, thanks, mate. Although the woman is handling gardening tools, she is clearly recognisable as lady of the house. Excuse us for intruding into your home, but it is most essential. I am Inspector Kreiser from the Leipzig Criminal Investigation Department. Are you Edward Ulrich's wife? That's correct. I'm Emily Ulrich. Please tell me what it is you want from me. I regret to inform you that your husband had an accident with his motor vehicle. He had an accident? How dreadful! Is he all right? Unfortunately, he died at the scene of the accident. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I have to ask you a few more questions. I will try to help you where I can. May I ask you a few questions about your husband? Sure you can, if you think that will help you. Your husband drove an automobile. That is still a very unusual means of transport. He was completely infatuated with that toy. I always told him that it would be the death of him. It's not easy to always be right, you know. We have yet to see what the exact cause of his death was. That is why I am here. Was he a good driver? Sure he was. He drove that thing almost every day. Even when I took the horse carriage, he would follow behind in that ridiculous thing. Because I wouldn't allow him to drive in front of me and pollute the air with those exhaust fumes. Oh, she's ahead of her time. Knows about pollution already. Do you think an accident is out of the question? What are you saying? What else could it have been if not an accident? That car was a real death trap. Did your husband have any enemies? There were certainly more than a few who were envious of what he had achieved in life. But enemies? No, I wouldn't go that far. And remind me, didn't you just declare that it was an accident? Determining that is my job, and I like to be thorough. Did Mr. Ulrich have any health issues? No, he was always well. He was in the prime of life, and had more energy than many a youngster. Too much energy for my taste, if you catch my drift. Okay. I'm trying very hard not to. I'll come back to that later. All in your own time, Mr. Inspector. Gardening. You take care of your gardening yourself? No gardener? Indeed I do. It is a pleasure for me to see the work of my hands grow and flourish. We did have a gardener ages ago, but after I had to explain his work to him 3 times, he quit. And since then, I've been taking care of my little domain. Check notebook. I have nothing to check. This bit. The brake band of the motor vehicle is striking cut edges. And what have I got to do with that? I don't even know what you are talking about. The driver suffered a head wound when his car fell into the water. How terrible. Alright, this is gonna... Your husband drowned. It's possible, however, that he may have been not have been conscious when he died. Drowned? Such a horrible death. Let's hope he didn't suffer. Alright, I'll close notebook. I probably should take a moment to collect your thoughts. I may have more questions later. Thank you very much, but it's quite alright. I should probably... Wait, why is this... Can I not... I can't believe that. No, it doesn't. I would have thought... Yeah, I don't know why that's greyed out now. Anyway, close notebook. Let's go chat to this guy. What's over here? Some tools. A few tools are hung neatly on the wall. One tool seems to be missing. This mechanic is a giant. He's even taller than the prosecutor. Look a bit... Check out everything else. Some nice plants cover the outer wall of the garage. Alright, so we got the house. We got... What's this over here? There are some berries in a small bowl. Someone must have picked them up from the bush up there. Can I take them? No. Because that's food for the guy. The Ulrich's residence is one of the most impressive mansions in Leipzig. In one corner of the garden stands a small bush that is bearing black berries. Better not touch the berries. Those are deadly nightshades. They are highly toxic and can lead to hallucinations, paralysis, and even death. Looks like some of the fruit has already been picked. Who collects deadly nightshade? I could ask the woman. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I have to ask you a few more questions. I will try to help you where I can. Check notebook. There is a bowl of deadly nightshade in the garden. Do you collect the berries from the bush behind you? Yes. What of it? Don't you know that they are highly toxic? Is that so? I had no idea. Well, now you know. Better toss them before a disaster should happen. Another one, I mean. Okay, mate. Emma Ulrich collected deadly nightshade, allegedly by accident. Right, yeah. Let's go look at these tracks. The traces of a wagon are visible on the ground. However, the tracks of the horses and the wagon itself are nowhere to be found. Alright, time to talk to you, buddy. Good day. My name is Joseph Kreiser. May I ask you what your connection to Edvard Ulrich is? You may, but do I have to answer? I imagine you must. I'm a police inspector and here on a serious matter. Well, in that case, I am Max Toffer, Edvard Ulrich's mechanic. I regret to inform you that Mr. Ulrich died. Oh? What happened? There was an accident with the motor vehicle he was driving. That is most unfortunate. But tell me, is the car alright? I will pretend I didn't hear your impertinence just this once, and ask you some questions instead. If you must. I have questions about your employer. Well, fire away. Have you seen Edvard Ulrich this morning? I heard him before I saw him. I guess the whole neighbourhood did. What do you mean by that, exactly? The Ulrichs have a particularly loud argument this morning. Did you hear what it was about? I couldn't help hearing, but I don't want to cast stones. You'd be better off talking to Miss Ulrich. I will do just that. In any case, Mr. Ulrich was so riled up that he was talking crazy. I had a lot of trouble concentrating on my work. What was Edvard Ulrich like as an employee? What is it they say? You shouldn't speak ill of the dead? Then I'd better say nothing. But one should always tell the police the truth. Well, if that's what you want, he was a cheapskate and an exploiter. How would you describe the marriage of the Ulrichs? I wouldn't at all, if you don't mind. I'm still in the Ulrich service. You could help solve a crime. Very well. This doesn't take much to just get them to spill the beans. Very well then. The marriage was not very harmonious. The two quarrelled more often than they reconciled. What would they quarrel about? For that, you'd have to ask Miss Ulrich. Sorry. Automobile. Let's talk about the automobile. But of course, that is the one thing I love to go on and on about. Did the vehicle pose any danger? No more than a horse and cart would. Don't believe everything you read in the papers. The future lies in the motor vehicle. Count on it. At the moment, however, they are still rather awkward and unsafe, aren't they? There are always little setbacks at the beginning. Just think back to the first locomotives. It was argued that they were harmful to humans and would certainly not prevail. And now there is hardly a village without a train station. I'll give you that. And at some point, everyone will come to own a motorised vehicle. Believe me. Yeah, unfortunate, isn't it? That's the truth. Cars everywhere. Was the car in good working condition? Are you trying to insult me and insinuate something? That car was always in good shape. There was never a screw that wobbled or a wheel that squeaked. I simply wouldn't have allowed it. How would you rate Edvard Ulrich as a driver? One of the best in Leipzig. He could drive from here to Taucher without even killing the engine once. Let's talk about something else, if we must. Let's ask about this. Emma Ulrich claims that she knows nothing about the poison effects of deadly nightshade. I wouldn't know anything about that. That's nothing else I can really... Oh, here we go. The brake band of the motor vehicle has striking cut edges. I wouldn't know anything about that. Alright, thanks, mate. How come the fact that there's an item missing isn't kind of... I haven't put that in my notebook. One tool seems to be missing. I guess I've got to find the tool. Alright, let's go talk to her about the argument. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I have to ask you a few more questions. I will try to help you where I can. Has Max Toffer worked for you for a long time? Yes, indeed. Now he'll have to look for a new job, it seems, poor man. He only took care of the motor vehicle, and without that, there is nothing for him to do here. My husband reprimanded him quite a bit, and even withheld some of his wages at the end, I believe. But I actually was quite fond of him, even if he only had the motor vehicle in mind. There was a fight between them. What about? It was about a scratch on the car, the repair of which was to be paid for out of Max's wages. But you'd best ask the man himself. Check notebook. You had an argument with your husband this morning. How'd you figure? Ah, I get it. I suppose Max couldn't keep his big mouth shut again. It is true that the last word I exchanged with my husband was spoken in anger. What was the argument about? What it always was about. My husband unfortunately never took his marriage vows very seriously. Meaning? My goodness, do I have to spell it out? He was one unfaithful bastard. Although, I probably shouldn't be saying that now, since he's gone. Edward Ulrich was so enraged on the morning that he was talking crazy. I don't know anything about that. Several mistresses. Yeah, I think we're done there. So I have to go back to him and talk about the argument. I have more questions for you, if you must. I heard that there was a dispute between you and your employer recently. Oh, so Miss Ulrich is trying to discredit me now. Well, I should have seen that coming. Mr. Ulrich claimed that I had damaged his motor vehicle, when it was him who caused the damage while returning from one of his nightly trips. And why did this lead to such a heated argument? Because he wanted to dock my pay for the damages. That was the last straw, and I handed in my notice. Had several mistresses. Edvard Ulrich was not faithful to his wife, and she knew this too. I don't know anything about that. Don't think there's anything else. Can I, is there anything I can... The thing is with this, like, you could just go this and this, this and this, because eventually something's gonna pop, isn't it? So you can just do trial and error. Agitate this morning that you spoke incoherently. Does these two go together? That makes no sense. Oh, it's got to keep opening each time. What about these two? Brain! Was the quarrel between Max Toffer and Edward Ulrich severe enough to serve as a motive for murder? What's this? Motives. You have just combined a motive. Click on the motive and read the explanation carefully. Click again to close the text. It is now automatically integrated into the logic. You can open and read it again at any time. Max Toffer had a dispute with Edvard Ulrich about his wage deductions. He was left to pay for damages to the motor vehicle out of his own pocket. It's possible this infuriated him so much that he decided to terminate not only his contract, but also his employer. I reckon this one and this one. Give me the other motive. How jealous was Emma Ulrich really enough? What? How jealous was Emma Ulrich really? Enough to commit murder? Edvard Ulrich's wife knew of his constant womanizing. After all, it repeatedly led to arguments in their marriage. It's possible it became too much for Emma Ulrich and she finally put an end to the stories. Alright, so we've got two motives. What about these two? Yeah. I see there, man. Did Emma Ulrich know about the harmfulness of deadly nightshade or not? You have unlocked the first decision. Click on it and decide on an explanation. Several correct decisions will unlock new conclusions. You can change any decision again later. Okay. Emma Ulrich knew exactly the dangers of the nightshade posed. Emma Ulrich picked the nightshade but was not aware. I reckon she knew, man. You can change that any time. Right. Can we chat to her again? I'm sorry, but I'm afraid okay, yeah, check notebook. Can you look at the motive? No, so you can't look at the motives. The motives just stay there. Okay, I see. Alright. I think... Are we done here now? I don't think there's anything else we can look at, is there? Oh, what's this here? The garage is pitch black. Maybe there would be something interesting to discover here. This goes to show you should never leave the station without your lamp. I have the lamp. I have a lamp, buddy. Much better. Let's have a look then. Aha! What do we have here? A pair of scissors. The blades look quite battered. Alright, can I combine those two items? Boom. Boom. The blades of the scissors and the edges of the brake band are very similar. Was it tampered with? Okay, we're getting somewhere. Oh. I don't think... Is that in here? There we go, yep. The edges of the brake band and the blades of the scissors seem to match. I don't know anything about that. Okay. Do you... Okay, well... Can I... What can I... Can I just, like, do this? Oh, no, they've gone. Alright, well, maybe I can talk to her about it. I don't know anything about that. Alright, so everyone's claiming nothing, are they? I see. Alright, maybe we need to go other places and I can talk to him. Let's see if he's got anything to say. Inspector Kreiser! Oh, I can do... What does help do? You've seen all of what the garden has to offer. Don't forget to combine your observations in your notebook. The thing is, so I've done this. Yeah, so what do I do with these now? So what I think happened is that Emma poisoned the husband, which meant he wasn't driving very well, which caused him to crash, and she cut the brake. Although they could have both done it. They could have both done it. She thought if she did that, he'd crash, and then the mechanic cut the brake line thinking he would crash. So they're both guilty. I don't think there's anything... Oh, no, didn't mean to do that. Hotspots, let's use the hotspots. Done that one, done that one, done that one. Yeah, I've done everything. What about... Oh, and I've combined the scissors, haven't I? So... There isn't anything else I can do. We could probably head back to the bridge, but we've been playing for a while now, so I think I will leave it there for this video. Save game. No auto save, so just be aware. Just be aware if you're playing this game. Doesn't seem to be any auto saves. Okay, so that's Casebook 1899, the Leipzig Murders. Yeah, I think that's a pretty well constructed adventure game so far. I like the combining of the your notes in your notebook, and you're getting like these little brain waves. That's quite cool. It's kind of feels like you're investigating, so you're going around looking at stuff, then questioning people, finding out motives, all that kind of what you'd expect from doing an investigation. So yeah, it's quite cool. Look forward to playing some more. As I say, it's out now, and it's on sale for $12.49 with 10% off until the 11th of September. So that's probably about $15 if I had to guess, if you're in the US. Yeah, it seems like a really good adventure game. So if you're into these kind of things, go check it out. I'll put a link in the description below to the Steam page. It'll be an affiliate link, so if you get the game through there, it supports the channel, so that'd be much appreciated. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking, subscribing. All that good stuff really helps me out. Subscribing and liking really helps the channel as well. So yeah, if you could do that, it'd be great. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.